Good morning, dear students. Welcome to another session of Introduction to Data Structures and Algorithms. So in previous session, we discussed regarding a few of the data structures. That is, one was pertaining to the arrays and the other one was pertaining to linked list. So these two concepts, right, that is arrays and linked list, form the basis for next of the data structures what we will be studying. So in coming fourth session, we'll be discussing regarding stacks and then we'll be moving ahead with the queues and lastly we'll discuss regarding trees and graphs and a few of the examples pertaining to the searching and the sorting operations which are done using those concepts. So in today's session, we'll start off our discussion with respect to stacks. So what is basically a stack? So a stack when we consider, right? First of all, it is a linear data structure. It is a data structure and it is linear. It's a linear data structure. So in this case, so what happens is we can add or remove the data only from one end. So and that end is termed as top of the stack. So we can either add or remove. We can either add or remove the data from one end of the stack, which is termed as top of the stack. And the principle on which the stack operates is last in, first out. So what does this imply? This implies that if I have to delete an element, so if you just consider this as a stack, so here we have one element, here we have another, here we have third element. So this is the last element which was put on the stack. So here, based on the principle, what happens is if I have to add any element with respect to this, I'll be adding on top of this. So on top of this. Now here, what happens is if I have to delete or remove an element from the stack, what's the concept? I have to remove the element which was first, which was last added in this case. So here, this was the first element, this was the second element, this was the third element, and this was the last element which was added in the present stack. So based on LIFO or the last in first out principle, the element which was added at the end will be deleted first. So this is the principle on which the stack operates. Now, what is the importance of the stack in the system processes? So we have seen that we go ahead with the compilation process. So when we are doing compilation, we make use of the stack, that is the say the compiler makes use of the stack, and then we are going ahead with the program control. So what is program control? So in previous sessions we saw that so we had a main function. We had a main function, and within main function, say we were calling insert. That is a function which inserts say an element. So in this case, insert function will be defined, which will be performing some operation. So now in this case, what happens is now initially what happens, the program starts with the main function, then it keeps on executing the lines, and when it comes across this statement, that is it sees that there is a function which has to be called. What it does is the next instruction which is present after insert function, it has to keep track of where or what is this instruction. It has to keep track of this. So indirectly it has to keep track of the address where it has to return. It has to keep track of the address where it has to return. So when this execution comes over here, the program control is handed over to the function, and the function keeps on performing the operations which it is intended to. And once the function finishes its operation, it has to return back to the next statement which follows the insert function statement. So now when we are returning, we should know what is the address. So if that is the case, what is done is this address is pushed onto the stack. That is, it is stored onto the stack. It is stored onto the stack. And then the control is moved over here. And when this operation is finished, what it does is the the program control goes and checks what is the address which I have to check out and start my execution. It gets to see that this is the address. It goes and starts the execution. So this is where you can see the use of stack in the system processes. One is in the compilation process and one is in the program control information. So we come across these things in our day-to-day life, say when we are keeping a books one above the other. So it is nothing but the stack of the books. Now in this case, if I have to get access to the last book, so logically speaking, what we do is we have to first get rid of the top book, then the last second, so on, continue and get access to the last book. This is how the principle of stack works. So now let us look at the logical representation of the stack over here. So now again, what is stack? It is a data structure in which elements are stored in a linear form, one after the other. So here we can see that we are storing a group of elements at contiguous memory locations. So now here one important point to remember is in linked list what we had, we could store the data at any memory location. That is, we dynamically accessed a memory and stored the information in that. And then when new element had to be inserted, a new memory location was accessed and there was a logical linkage provided between these two. So it is not necessary that in the linked list, the memory, if this address is say 0001, it is not necessary that this has to be say 0002. It can be say 12 or any other address, say it can be 1001. So depending on how the dynamic memory allocation is happening within the system. But in stack, what happens is we allocate a memory space for the stack at the start. So since we are allocating the memory space at the start, what happens is this memory space, what is allocated, will be containing addresses which are contiguous in nature. So what is meant by contiguous? It will be, say if this address is 1000, say if one location is consuming say 1 byte, then next address will be 1001, next address will be say 1002, next address will be 1003. So it keeps on continuing. So this is what is meant by contiguous memory locations. So now when we are dealing with the stack, right, we have another important thing to note down. That is, we make use of one special pointer which is termed as top. So in linked list, we had seen that we had different special pointers to identify what is the first element, what is the last element. There is a special pointer which was named as first and the last. So the name was specified in that form. So in this case, one special this thing what we have to do is we have to make use of an element which is termed as top to access the top element of the stack over here. So what does this pointer, that is a special pointer which is termed as top, contains? It basically contains the location or the address information of the top element which is present in the stack over here. So it basically contains the address information of the element which is present at the top of the stack. Now, apart from this, for what purpose we can look out for using this pointer? So if I have to remove an element from the stack, then I make use of this top pointer to get rid of this element. So what I do is, so in simple form, what we have to do is if I have to remove an element from the top of the stack, so I have to get rid of this element. So what if you want, you can retrieve that element and then go ahead or any other operation. So in simple form, I just wanted to delete this element. So what I have to do is, so this element is removed from top of the stack. So what I do is I take top -1. So this will be pointing to this information and I'll be updating the pointer top with this new address. So what is this doing? This is deleting the element from the top of the stack. Now, if I have to insert an element on top of the stack, what I have to do is I have to update the top pointer with top plus 1. I have to increment it by 1. So this will make the top pointer to point to new location, and I'll be storing a new value over here. So this is what is done with the help of the pointer, which is named as top in the stack. Now let us look at array and stack. Let us have a comparison with respect to these. So when we try to compare these two, what happens is in stacks, if you just observe what we have, we can have the insertion and deletion operation, but there is restriction on this insertion and deletion operation. So what is happening in stacks? You can delete or insert an element only from the top of the stack. So that is only from one point, only from here. So above this I can insert the element, and this one I can delete and then move down. I cannot delete any element in between. So that is one major difference associated with the stack and the array. So in array we had seen in previous case that we can add or remove elements from anywhere in the array. So we had observed in the previous sessions. So if I am having an array, so in this case, what we are doing, so suppose we have to delete the element in between. So it is possible to do that. But logically speaking, for stacks, I cannot do this kind of operation. So here in arrays, what we have to do is if I have to delete this element, I have to adjust the index of the rest of the elements which follow this. Now, even with insertion, what I have to do? Even with insertion, what I have to do, if I have to insert at any in between location, then what I have to do is I have to adjust the addresses of these two. I have to adjust the addresses of the next elements which are present in the array. So apart from this, you can observe how arrays are represented. So if I have to compare arrays, arrays are also in arrays, the elements are again stored in contiguous memory locations. So in stacks also it is stored in contiguous memory locations. Then if I have to insert an element, then I can insert an element in the stack at the top of the stack. But in arrays, I can insert an element either at the starting or at the end or somewhere in between. Now, apart from that, if I have to delete an element, then I can delete only the top element of the stack. But in arrays, what happens? I can delete it from any point which is in the array. So I can delete the first element, last element, or element which is present in between. Apart from this, if we just observe what else we look out is so in stacks we allocate a memory location to we allocate a specific memory location to the stacks. Even in arrays, what happens is when it is declared, we need to allocate a memory. So if the array contains of 10 elements, we should allocate 10 elements to that array. So if we assume that there will be at least 10 elements present, so I have to allocate 10 elements in 10 memory locations for the array elements. But in stacks, you have allocated that memory location. So in further slides, we'll come across few of the other things. So what happens if the stack is full? What happens if the stack is empty and you're trying to delete the element? So there are concepts which are pertaining to these aspects, like you have something called a stack overflow and stack underflow. But in arrays, I don't have that kind of concepts which we'll be implementing. So these are just a few things to note down with respect to say the arrays and stacks. So as we had seen that stacks can be used at the time of compilation and say program control information. So you're trying to call a function, you have to store the address of the next instruction. So that is done with the help of push and pop operations in the stacks. For arrays, what we do is we can utilize the arrays to store some information. Say, so I want to store some information pertaining to the students. So I can store that information using the array. This thing, say I want to store all the roll numbers which are present. So I can do that using the arrays. So apart from this, what happens is when we're dealing with arrays, right, we push and pop few things. So sometimes we need to push the address information. Sometimes we need to push an element onto the stack. So but in array what happens is you have to store similar kind of data types. But in this case what happens is that problem might not occur. So that is, as we go ahead, we'll be looking into all these aspects. So these are just a few points with respect to comparison of arrays and stacks. So what are the stack operations which we can perform? So there are two major operations. One is termed as push and one is termed as pop operation. Now, what is the purpose of the push operation? The push operation is used to add an element to the stack. And the pop operation is used for the reverse purpose of that of push operation, in which we try to either delete the element or we try to read an element from the stack. So push is used to add an element to the stack and pop is used to either delete or read an element from the stack. So here let us see at examples of what is basically happening. So this is the stack before the push. So it is containing several elements. Now what I want to do is I want to add an element 5 to this stack. So if I have to add an element, then I am performing which operation? I am performing the push operation in the stack. And as per the principle of stack, what it works on last in first out principle. So in this one, what happens is if I have to add an element, I'll be adding an element on top of the stack. I'll be adding an element on top of the stack. So here I'll be pushing the element 5 and this element 5 will go and sit on top of the stack. So previously what was happening over here? Top pointer was pointing to element 16 in the stack. Now I wanted to push the element 5. So what we have to do is we have to take this previous address, that is top, and add 1 to this. So this will update the address and that will be stored in the top pointer. So what is this doing? This is pointing to the new memory location in the stack which is empty, and at that position this new element will be added to the stack. So that is what is happening in this case. So this is stack before push and this is the stack after the push operation is being performed. Now let us come at the other operation, that is the pop operation. So pop operation does the opposite of push operation. So in which using pop, what we can do is we can either delete an element or read an element from the stack. So this is the stack which is present, say before the pop operation. Now I want to perform a pop operation. So when I'm performing the pop operation, it makes use of the LIFO principle, last in first out. So here if I just observe, 8 was the element which was added at the first. So when new element had to be pushed, it was 2. So it was stored on top of the stack. Next 4, next 99, then 4 and 16. So as per this one, this is the last element, that is 16 is the last element which was put onto the onto the stack, that is it was pushed onto the stack. So what happens is if I go ahead with the pop operation, if I go ahead with the pop operation, this is actually we are performing the pop operation. So it's a typo error which is there. Okay, so just rectify that. So we are performing the pop operation. So we got to know that the last element which is added onto the stack is 16. So when we are performing pop operation, you need to access the pointer which is top, and then you need to decrement it by 1. So it will be top minus 1 and that will be updated with the top pointer. So this new pointer will be pointing to the element which is below it. So by this what you're doing is you are deleting this element. You are deleting the element which is on top of the stack. That is the element which was added at the last in the stack. So this way top will be pointing to 4 once the pop operation is being performed. So this is what is happening when you're performing the pop operation. So now let us see what all things are happening with respect to the push operations. So in push operation, what we have to do is first we have to get access to the element that has to be inserted onto the stack. I should get access to the element, say element is X. So this is the element which has to be pushed onto the stack. So once I get access to the element, what I have to do is, so here I have got access to the element. So in this case, it is 5. So let me say that X is equal to 5. So I have got access to the element. Now what I have to do is I have to increment this pointer. So it will be top plus 1. So pointer will be incremented. So that is what you are doing in the next step. Increment the pointer to point to the top location. So incrementing the stack pointer. So sometimes we refer to the stop pointer also as a stack pointer. It is in the programming point of view. So we also refer it as a stack pointer. So at present, either stack pointer or top, when we refer, it is referring to the element or the address of the element which is present on the top of the stack. So now we got access to the element which has to be inserted. We incremented the stack pointer or the top pointer, and it points to the new location. So at that location, what I'll be doing is I'll be going and storing the element which I have accessed. So I'll store the element which I have received, and it will be placed and at top of the stack. It will be placed at top of the stack. So this is what is happening in push operation. First get access to the element, increment the top pointer or the stack pointer, and store the element which at the location which is identified by the stack pointer or the top pointer once the increment operation has been done. Now, when we are performing these operations, right, we come across another aspect, that what is called as stack overflow. Now, what happens is it is because of this increment operation. So what is happening is, so if I come to this aspect, say the stack is full now in this case. So if I'm performing say push operation, what happens is the memory is full and I cannot push on or add on any elements to the stack. So in that case, what we have is, suppose this is not possible. This is not possible, assuming that the stack is full at this point. So when stack is full and we try to increment this pointer, we get to know that the stack is already full and I cannot increment and get access to the new memory location. So in this case, if you're trying to perform the push operation, what is push doing? Push operation is getting access to the element and it is trying to increment the element and store the element in the new location, but the stack is full. So in this case, if the stack is full and you're trying to perform the push operation, you come across what is termed as stack overflow. So if you come across this term, right, it is an indication that the stack is full and there is no more memory location which is available to push or add the new element onto the stack. So this is the problem which occurs when the stack is full. Now let us look at what happens in the pop operation. So in the pop operation, what we try to do is we try to retrieve the element or remove the element from the top of the stack. So in majority of the cases, what we are doing is, if you are say storing the address of the next instruction, so I should get back that address and then move ahead. So in that case, I just cannot delete the element from the stack. So in that case, what we do is, say when I'm performing pop operation, I have to say I want to store this information. I have to get access and then I decrement the pointer. So I get access to the element which is on top of the stack and then decrement this pointer. So these are the two operations what I'm performing with respect to with respect to pop operations. So I either retrieve the element or remove the element from the top of the stack. Once I do that, what I do after that is I decrement the stack pointer or the top pointer. Now under this case, what happens is there is another one issue which comes in, which is called as stack underflow. So what happens in stack underflow? Now here you can observe that if the stack is empty, that is there are no elements which are present in the stack, and top is pointing to a location. That is, in this case, top is pointing to this location and the stack is empty. So now if I try to perform the pop operation, the stack is actually empty. So it will not be able to retrieve any elements or delete any elements. So under that case, we come across what is termed as stack underfull. So this is an indication that stack is empty and we are trying to perform a pop operation. So this is all for today. Let us meet in the next session, wherein we'll be discussing with a few more concepts which are pertaining to the stack operations. Okay. Thank you. Anything from your